Welcome back, everyone. It's time for another reading from Papa's Comic Books and Coffee. Okay, are we ready for today's reading? Let's see who we have. The Swamp Thing, Season 2, number 16 of 16. This is by Ram V and Mike Perkins. Alrighty, story title is Armageddon. Alrighty, don't forget this book and others are available on my eBay page, papas-comic-books. Hit that subscribe button if you don't mind. I would really appreciate that. Helps me out. Hit the like, hit the dislike. Tell me what you thought. Tell me what you didn't think. Tell me what you want to hear. If I have it in my library, we'll get it on for you. Alright, let's see what we can do here. The small prospector town of Destino, at the edge of the desert, is part of a big sky country, they say. The horizon is clear and precise all around, but for the odd specks of unruly carrion birds circling death. Over the years, Destino has had its share of strange phenomenon. The world goes mad in the desert. They say about once every decade it storms like a demon and hails upon the yellow sands. Once back in 43 it rained frogs for 2 whole hours, and the town name made it into Brickley's Unbelievables, or some such book. They've even got the page pinned up at the gas station. So when alien plant ships begin to fall to the sand, the denizens of Destino think of themselves, here we go, the desert's gone mad again. It isn't until they look upon that ever-clear horizon that they realize this is different. The shadows grow long, and the big sky is turned into an analyst of Demon's Hole looking down upon the desert ground. The town knows this is different. Some deep instinctive voice whimpers as it looks to the horizon. This is what it looks like, it says. At Armageddon. When the world turns itself anew, when old ideas are forgotten and lost under the unstoppable momentum of new ones. There are many words for such times: extinction, event, doomsday, paroxysm, Armageddon. Inside the heart of the machine, he stands, his every sinew, every memory, every hope coiled around the relentless machinery of that place. The faces in the gears watch, unmoved by the memory of his father, by that of his brother, by tragedy, by hope. But his logic is flawless by every measure. Their victory is guaranteed by every count. They have nothing to lose, so why wouldn't they listen to Trinity as he was asked? You can't be deterred or swayed by his words. Look at him, clinging to his last bit of hope. His idea is inertia. His proposals are the status quo. We have almost won. You must not. Must? Are we not the tool that wields the hand? Must we follow your instruction? Then your thesis is flawed. You are only an avatar. We are the underlying idea. You overestimate your agency. Know your place. Let her speak. It is of interest. We will listen. I was drawn here to this place. It is all I have known. This turmoil, strife, war, and carnage, and change, I was born in it. Made by the fission when the energies of a man-made bomb turned Alamogordo sand into glass trinite. They called it a wholly unique mineral never seen before or since. Sometimes green, sometimes red or black, the chaos of my creation reflected in my many variations. I suspect this is why I was called here. Like you, I too am a creation of man. The onshore product of a violent idea. These past days I have wandered the very desert of my making. I asked myself, why now? Why after all this time can I take this form and go where my feet may wander? What is different, I asked myself. In the desert I met a man who did not know me and yet chose to be kind. His kindness got him killed. Then, in a nearby town, I met others who did not know me, and they chose to be hostile. The hostility went unanswered. It all seemed absurd to me. They have lived upon this planet for so long, and yet their actions and consequences had no reason or meaning. And here I was, a made thing, looking for direction, for guidance. Then I saw a star falling from the sky. When I touched the star, the memories of this world passed through me, as too did the memories of this man, this thing born of a swamp. And in that moment, I understood that the choices people made were not always guided by their consequences. Sometimes they were made on whim, sometimes on emotion, sometimes in pursuit of higher purposes, enlightenment, God. I understand that the intelligence discerned consequences, not what made them special. It was the ability to choose that did. I believe this is what parliaments are made of. This is why we are given form and shape and agency. What is she talking about? Definitely not Batman. We may choose to qualify, to rationalize our choices by their consequences, but it is the choices themselves that make a parliament. And so I have pondered the one choice set before me, to be a thing of joy or a final consequence, and I have not yet made up my mind. Oh no. Do you see? She was drawn here to you. She was born and abandoned just like you, not parched by the sun, not turned bitter by the sand. And I asked her here not to deny your place, but to present you with your first choice as a newborn parliament. You choose as the Green did with me and my brother. Either you choose the path this wanderer has put you on, but then you must ask yourselves, are you truly free of your master's flaws? Or you choose one like yourselves, born of human ideas, and yet one who found her way to a place of innocence. This will forever be your calling as Parliament to choose. Splitting molecules, chasing particle death, or creating a piece of the sun in a lab. Life as a means to infect one another, or life engineered to save generations. Evolution to the apex of a parched world, or exploration and human ingenuity taken to worlds and frontiers beyond. A consumptive industry driven by greed and self-propagation, or a bastion of innovation creating crafting with innocence. All of this was always within your grasp. But here, now, if you truly are to ascend, you must choose. Enough! Enough of this ridiculous sermon! It is my drive and ambition that has brought them this far. It is my purpose that they adhere to a parliament that has been crafted by its avatar. Fitting, don't you think? This impostor will not survive long enough to deny me my victory. No! They have already chosen. Don't you see? They chose their freedom from greed. They chose innocence over inevitability. Long ago, when we met, you said to me, ideas cannot die. And you told me what would happen if two ideas met. You were right in that ideas cannot die, especially one as simple as old as greed. You will never be rid of me. Greater forces have tried. I am part of the fabric of this place, part of the blood of the people. When two ideas meet, one must consume the other, you said. But that is not true, is it? It is a perspective tainted by your existential vision. The better idea can be chosen. I was chosen for this, to bury you beneath hope and will, and to stand vigil with all the patience of trees. You will return, of course. And I will be waiting. I chose the boy because he could yet dream. Each time the child swung from the branches of the lone tree on a hill at the edge of the Kazaranga, his hands held onto the swing, but his heart yearned to fly. I'd like to think that in his dream, long years had passed, and the machine that had spilled forth and purpose stayed itself at the edge of that land. Iron and stone and oil and fire were stilled and taken back by wind and rust and green. Given time and a singular will, dreams will yet grow in unlikely places. The parliament of gears, it seemed, had not yet made up their mind, pondering for long years to be a thing of consequences or of joy. Their avatar, Trinity, watched from within the unrelenting march of technology, choosing in subtle ways. Advancement over profit, sustenance over perpetuation, innovation over exploitation. Or perhaps the boy never dreamed such grand consequences. Perhaps all of this in my own mind. Although trees cannot dream, they are easily swayed by notions of romance. Perhaps the boy dreams were simpler. Maybe he was content merely to see the green restored, to see himself and humanity remembered kindly by the memory of this world, to see that his actions were worthy of those that had come before. Maybe he found contentment in knowing that he was defined by his choices and not his circumstances, that he too had carried the burden of being chosen and would do so again if called upon. Perhaps he found solace in knowing that he had earned his father's dying kindness, perhaps even his pride. It may be the boy only dreamed of simpler things, like visiting the land he had once called home and seeing it in a different light, valuing its unspoken secrets and its old ways a bit more, and in them finding a closer, more meaningful connection to the people he loved. This is it, Jen. I think this is the oldest part of the forest, and I think this is the tree that my father had brought me to. But it feels different, somehow, like the whole place has shifted, like it's changed. Things have changed. Here, this is where I place my hands upon these old roots, where my father asked me if I felt anything within. And now, what do you feel? He's smiling. I don't know what he's feeling. Oh no! It's Swamp Thing. You think this is over, don't you? You think you have won. Ha! It seems I have more faith in humanity than you do. I can trust them to screw it all up again. A matter of time, that is. The only difference between Levi Camel. Do you hear me, Swamp Thing? There will be an occasion for you to be remembered as a monster just yet. Maybe you're right. Maybe a time will come where such grave choices stand before me. Perhaps I will make them. Perhaps I will perish in the indecision. But I stopped worrying about it, all of it, a long while ago, because this is what it means to live, to be part of the world. Don't you see? That eternal choice to be better or to be worse, that's all there is. My ambitions are much less lofty than yours. When I look in the mirror each day, I want to be able to meet my own eyes and not see a monster there. That's about all anyone can hope for as he walks away into the forest. The end. Okay. Ooh, poor Tim Sale. I have a few books autographed by Tim Sale. Okay, that was Swamp Thing, Season 2. Number 16 of 16. Hope you enjoyed that. Now don't forget, this book and others are available on my eBay page, Papa's-Comic-Books. Also, if you don't mind, please hit that subscribe button. I would appreciate that. Give me a like. Tell me what you thought. Give me a comment. Tell me what you want to hear. If I have it in my library, I'll try to get it on. But until next time, as Papa always says,
that was easy.
Papa is out.